Hello everybody, I was pottering around online the other day and I found a video that made me feel really sad. Now, I want to show you this video, but before I do, I feel like I need to paint a bit of a picture and give you a bit of a backstory as to why this video made me feel so sad. The video is about gaming, so I want to tell you about gaming in my life before I show you the video. I have these really clear memories of encountering gaming for the first time and how I felt at the time and what it meant to me. Now, when I was really young, I had a friend who had a Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and I remember being in his house and putting the cassettes in the Sinclair ZX Spectrum and waiting for the cassette to play all the way through just so that we could play the game. Now, at that point, I didn't feel too strongly about gaming. I was a bit like, oh yeah, it's quite cool, it's okay. But everything changed when the Sega Master System came out and I first encountered Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, it's hard for me to really explain because some of you were born with gaming. Technology has been around all the time. You may not have experienced a time before these really cool gaming characters where there was just kind of like nothing. And all of a sudden, this really strong brand came through. So I remember going around my friend's house and he had the Sega Master System. And I remember sitting there playing Sonic the Hedgehog with him. And I can't really explain the excitement and the fascination I had with Sonic the Hedgehog. I thought he was the coolest thing I had ever seen in my entire life. I thought about Sonic the Hedgehog all the time. I looked at pictures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I drew pictures of him all the time. I nagged my parents for a Master System. Anyway, my dad had been putting a little bit of money in a savings account for me, and that was building up over the months. And one day, I was a little bit unwell and I was off sick from school. And I remember asking my dad if we could go and buy a Sega Master System. And we went out. I had £40 and in my savings account, and we got the money out and we went to the shop. And I remember standing there in Dixon's, the shop was called. And we were looking at the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and we were looking at the Sega Master System. And I remember us talking to the guy in the shop and asking which had the best graphics, and the guy recommended buying the Master System, which is okay because that's what I wanted at the time. And it's so clear that the memory is unbelievable. And we went back home, and I sat there in front of the television, like on a dining chair, in front of the television, just playing Sonic over and over again, dying, restarting, dying. And it's so clear to me that I still even remember getting up to the jungle level and keep getting stuck on that level. And my dad, who was obviously not in work that day, was just asleep on the couch because he was exhausted probably, just while I sat there with my little control pad playing the Sega Master System. And from that point, there's always been games consoles in my life. You know, my brother got a Mega Drive and we had played that for a while. We had a Nintendo 64. My friend bought Ocarina of Time, and we spent a lot of time sitting in a room trying to work out the puzzles, you know, handing the control pad back and two, trying to solve these problems together. And even then, it wasn't a multiplayer, but those memories of just being together, problem solving, and just enjoying a game was just absolutely brilliant. Although when I got to the age of about 18, 19, that kind of time, that is when the Xbox launched, the original Xbox, and gaming switched to be something even bigger than what it already was in my life. I remember being at my cousin's house and experiencing Halo for the first time and thinking, wow, this is absolutely amazing. Having LAN parties where downstairs we would set up a couple of televisions and link the Xboxes up. And there were times when, you know, my parents would go on holiday, I'd invite a friend round, we'd get Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, and we would sit there playing it on the hardest setting on multiplayer, like all day in my living room, eating junk food. And I do mean for like 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, just hammering these games. And I also remember, you know, the first time I saw Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, and we were sat in my friend's house and he just got it and he's like, you have to see this game. You have to see this. And we loaded it up and he was showing us the rays of light coming in and the fabric in the game blowing in the wind. And we'd never seen anything like it. And we were just like, this is incredible. And even now when I play Splinter Cell now, I still look at it and think I'm still a bit blown away by it. I didn't realize it at the time, but I think it started to become very much part of my identity as time progressed. And I have so many good memories from gaming, from talking about gaming, you know, sitting around with our Nintendo DSs playing Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Halo, multiplayer LAN parties. It's just absolutely endless, this rich history in my life of multiplayer gaming, and all of the fun and fallouts that come with that. Now, in light of everything that I've just said, you might begin to understand that why this video I'm about to show you feels kind of sad. Let me play it here first. Before I do anything, I'll just show it you and I'll explain why. But you might now, as soon as you watch it, realise why it's kind of sad. The video's only 20 seconds long, but I'll show it here. Have a watch of this, right? And you might realise why there's a sadness to this video. Here we go. Here's the video. Okay, so that kills me, right? Because that was us. The first clip was us playing Halo on the Xbox 360 multiplayer. That's what I did when I was around 19, 20, 21 years old. Maybe even more into my mid-20s, actually, because I can't work out the timing. But that bit when it cuts forward to the future and there's just a guy on his own in his room and he's playing online and he picks up his phone and looks at his phone and there's no one around him. Oh, that kills me. I should say here, I'm not against online gaming. I've got some amazing friends from different parts of the world now because of online gaming. My job involves online gaming. I play a lot of games with people all over the country. And online gaming, you know, is used in my job role to help people make friends and connect with other people. But there's this sadness in that I feel like it shouldn't ever overtake real life and spending time with people in real life. I think the two should exist together. And I feel a bit sad because for some of you guys, you've never had that. Probably, you know, you've never had the thing where everyone comes around your house, you set up a bunch of TVs and you play together in the same room. It's one of the great experiences of being a gamer. And again, online gaming has its place. It's a good thing. It helps a lot of people. But I feel like we shouldn't neglect the other type. We shouldn't neglect the face-to-face stuff, being in the same room, gaming together. Maybe that's the reason why retro gaming is becoming really popular, because it emotionally ties back to a time where we were all closer to each other and where we had these great experiences spending time together. And for me, the best experiences were always the ones where we were all working together on a game, trying to work through something that was on a really hard setting of a really complex game, and we were all in the room together trying to work it out. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that video again. Have another watch of it. It's quite interesting. Maybe try and get some friends round, get a really complex game with loads of puzzles and challenges and try and work it out together without cheating and going on the internet, because it's just great fun. You know, really, really good memories. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.